Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Thank you everyone for tuning in with me today. It is Marketing Monday. As you guys know, I like to have my marketing conversations on Mondays, and they're live. They go as free fall as you can see. And whoever jumps in decides to give some type of insight on the topic at hand, then please do so. All right. For those of you that do not know me, I am Jay. I am the owner of Jay's Media Agency, which is also going by Media by Jay on all platforms. All right, I am a photographer, videographer, and a marketing strategist, and putting them all together is to be able to help everyday content creator and influencer and personal brand to grow and get paid by using their own content. Sounds like a lot, but it's pretty easy. I got to help you guys to get paid, me and yourselves, by giving out advice on how to market pictures and videos, right? So that's pretty much my title. All right. So as you guys can see, if you have noticed the story, or what is it? What is that little thing? It's like a story face. Yeah, story face that gives you can put your live updates on. And if you've also looked at the title in this particular live, it is your equipment is holding you back. Okay. Or is it? Let's dive right into it. So I had a photographer hit me up, and it was like a couple of weeks ago, and they were under one of my posts that was getting some type of attention, right? It wasn't crazy big, but it was enough to grab this person's attention. So they end up going on the video, basically saying that they love what I do, but what was it? What was I can't remember that phrase, but it was they love what I do, but there's something that I'm missing. I'm missing out of the end. My question was, well, what is it? Like how so, right? Oh no, he said, but your equipment is holding you back. That's what it was. It does the title, okay? He said your equipment is holding you back. I said, how so? So then he told me, well, it was the quality of it, right? So I proceeded to kind of take that as a hit. Hey April, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. If you see the title of today, it is your equipment's holding you back. And I know you got some bomb ass equipment. So, and I to seeing you create some amazing ass quality too. So we know what it is, right? So to continue on with the call out that I had received, so I took it some type of way. So I was like, yo, I wasn't kind of expecting that. Like, you gave me a backhanded compliment. I understand you love what I do, but to also say that my equipment is holding me back is like, well, are you giving away free $5,000 cameras? Like, is there a place I need to go and pick one up? Like, those are the type of questions that I have for people that always want to give information and a way of kind of letting you know, like, you could do so much better. And I understand, because I definitely do. I do, and I can, and I will. But for it to be called out in that way, like, it could have been a DM. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been more privately. But that comment was like, you did it on a public post, and I'm not finna be the person that's like, I'm not in the habit of like deleting shit. So somebody sees it, they see it. I'm not trying to create and formulate a narrative. I just know how I'm gonna respond, and I let that be what that is. So keep in mind, I'm not using the newest camera body. I'm not using the most expensive lens. I'm not walking into a building with over $10,000 worth of gear, but I'm still getting booked. Okay, so I think that's where a lot of people get confused. Is like, how are you still getting booked even if you don't have equipment that's just like mine? And again, it goes back to, I don't have to have equipment just like yours, but I know how to market. I know how to put myself out there. I know how to get a client and have them trust me with their vision and develop and deliver on that vision. So I think people really get it misconstrued as, oh, I need to have this, and this. And then really it's about how your mindset, how people are really gravitating to what you do, right? Thank you so much, JRA7. How do you say your name? I've seen your name before. Is it Junior A7 Artistry? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. So that's when it made me realize this has nothing to do with my equipment. It had everything to do with dude's mindset. Keep in mind, I checked him out. I looked at his stuff, and he does some really, really great shit. Like, I give him his props, but it still goes off of, I'm pretty sure he's been in the game way longer than I have, and I'm never going to take that people have been here. I'm not going to give you your respect, but it's also like, yo, you see me still out here trying to do something, right? So let me do that thing. All right. April said, yeah, it's not all about the equipment. Exactly. It's not at all. That's my homie. I have been seeing them around. So that's what's up. That's what's up. The fact that they stopped by means a lot. I got some people that actually tuning in and hearing what I say. Now, if you guys don't mind, let the people know what kind of equipment you guys are working with, right? Steven going to the part of what equipment you started off with, right? And then going into, of course, how you upgraded and got into what you're doing right now, all right? Because it's steps to this, all right? So now we're here because I want to break the myth, okay? Having higher, more expensive gear does not mean you're going to have the skill, okay? Your expensive camera is not going to fix your bad composition. A new lens is not going to fix that bad lighting. All right. 4K is not going to fix that boring storytelling. All right. And autofocus is not going to automatically let you know who your subject is. All right. So you have to be able to understand what you're working with and then be able to capitalize on what you currently have to get to the next step. Like for me, before I even had my camera, and I really should bring that thing out so you guys can see. Right now, my camera is a T7, bro. Like it's a T7 Canon, and I'm content with that. It does the job. It does what I need to do. I've been getting booked on that camera. But before that, I had my phone. The phone that I am going live on right now, talking to you guys, is the phone that I was using to book other events and to actually record, deliver, and get paid with that. So it wasn't to where somebody was like, oh man, like I don't want to book you because you ain't got no camera. Now don't get me wrong, this may happen, right? But at the end of the day, if people say, oh shit, you can do some really great work, then they're gonna go with you, right? I have seen thing what really took it from me was when Usher had made a music video all filmed on an iPhone. That right there took the cake for me. April said you got to use what you got until you can't get what you want. I'm assuming you said until you can get what you want. But yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hey, Lushy Love, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate that. See, everybody coming through tonight. I appreciate that. All right now. Thank you so much, Nick's Flicks. Anybody that's stopping in, they're checking out the title, please let me know what you're working with, what your equipment looking like. We can talk about it. All right. Now, also, when it goes to, I had the smartphone. I had my phone again. Then I finally invested into a gimbal for my phone. And then, of course, I had to learn my lighting. I had to understand how that works. Because even with iPhone, they kind of go off of whatever your environment is, and they're going to adjust automatically. Whereas having a camera is something totally different. You have to learn your settings and adjust it as you are in your current environment, right? So it's not a situation to where you're going to automatically know what you're working with by just starting out. You build to that, right? And it took me, I ain't gonna lie to you, it took me like a couple of years to really get my settings down pat. My first shoot, I had continuous lighting, kind of like I have now. And it was in a dark room, but my lighting wasn't that bright, but it was hot. Okay. I don't remember where I got the lighting from, but it was like one of those big soft boxes. And I was panicking. I was sweating bullets. It just was not the best for me. And as far as how I felt as the photographer behind the camera, but I ended up still giving out good quality images, which is so interesting to me. You can do a lot of amazing things in editing, bro. Like miracles can be made in editing. All right. So JR says I shoot with the Sony A7 IV. I started with the A7 III. Nice. All right. So that's definitely a good upgrade. The Sonys are really good. I've messed around with one by helping somebody else filming, and they had me use their camera, and I was very impressed. Like I still love Canon, but Sonys are really, really good. April says, right. Lushy says, I'm only working with you here, Yams. What? I'm only working with you here. All right, we're going to come back now. You can clarify that for me, Lushy. All right. So also, I had to learn, of course, the camera, the lighting, framing. Okay. Framing is talked about, but we need more people to talk about it. All right. So something as simple as how you guys are looking at me right here. I'm just on my phone. I could literally be sitting here like this and just being like, oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And this is the live and da-da-da-da. And you guys will be like, well, why is she out the frame like that? And it's distracting because what it's doing is it's allowing you to see everything else is going on behind me. You probably wasn't paying attention to that until I moved out, right? Now that I'm in the middle, I'm the focus, right? Understanding the framing, rules of thirds, right? So keep in mind, I'm also a photographer and a videographer who is not the best with technical terms. They sometimes give me a headache, but I'm like, I know what you're pointing at. I know what you're talking about. So I know what it does. But some terms is like, I have to learn along the way. So rules of thirds is definitely one of them. but I understood what it meant when I found the definition out. April said I started with a Canon Rebel, moved to a Nikon. Okay. Now shoot with the Nikon D850. My next upgrade will be the Z8. That shit sounds fancy. Bet. I already know whatever you're gonna do with it, you're gonna make some magic happen. JR, I practice on composition every day. It's important, bro. It's important. And you know what? I was walking to the gym earlier and I just happened to just walk past a tree. And of course, you know, it's not the season for where it's going to have obviously leaves and all that. But just the way I saw the tree made me think like this would be a great picture. And I immediately adjusted myself in nature just to capture the shot how I wanted to capture it. So understanding that composition is a big deal, because I could have the most expensive camera in the world, but if I don't understand my framing and my composition, what am I doing this for? I'm not telling the story properly. I'm not captivating the viewer. I'm not shooting the person that needs to be shot. I'm not drawing the attention in like I'm supposed to, right? So there's a lot of things that go into that, right? Of course, studying the room, showing up early, delivering consistently. Like, here's the thing that a lot of people really kind of fail to understand. There's having a quality, top quality, the most expensive gear is one thing, but having to understand how to bring the best experience is something totally different. Because I can have the second grade type camera, but I can give you the best experience in the world, right? To another photographer, right? But then there's somebody else that might have the top-notch camera. They might show up late. They might give you your deliverables way past time that they said they were going to. They might not understand contracts. Like, I'm behind the scenes making sure I'm paying attention to the logistics of everything and how this thing runs. Because if I don't do that, then everything's going to crumble. Like, I don't have good quality and I don't know how to run business. It doesn't make sense, right? You have to make sure that it's making sense. April says, to JR, yes, I'm working on composition and posing. I mean, I'm assuming you do it on a regular, right? Because I do be seeing how you be taking your pictures, your composition and your poses. Poses are really, really, really nice. I definitely make sure I practice on that every Thursday. If you guys know, probably might not, but every Thursday I do host lives on YouTube because I'm not expecting anybody to show up. So I just go in and it forces me to practice different things for photography. She says, Nick Flicks says, I have Canon 80D stolen from my man. All right now, I need to get my own. I want the Canon R6. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at though. My next upgrade though is going to be, for budget wise right now, probably like the R10, but the R5 is really, really, really nice. That's really what I want, but that's going to cost me another $1,000, but it'll be worth it when I finally upgrade to it. Lushy says, I brought a little cheap 4K camera. I always forget that I have it, end up just using my phone. So I'm gonna need for you to just bring it with you wherever you go. It's gonna be one of those things, like carry it like it's your purse at the end of the day. That way you're not gonna forget. If you decide you want to like learn how to use it, like it is what it is. I know I've seen those on Amazon too, but if it gives what it needs to give for you, then work with what you got and then go from there. You'll get it. Once you get the settings and understand how to use everything that I'm talking about today, you'll be fine and you'll upgrade in no time. All right. So the real question is, all right, are you maximizing what you have? Do you actually know your current camera? All right. Do you know what kind of camera you have, but do you really know it? Like, do you know all the ins and outs, all the buttons, all the menu settings? Do you really understand your ISO, your shuttering, your aperture, right? Can you capture in manual confidently? That goes back to that first photo shoot that I had where I was freaking out and was sweating bullets because I didn't understand how to shoot manually. It was like Chinese to me, right? And I tried automatic and that was almost worse. But down the line, I figured it out, right? It right now, it's definitely like, it's like speaking a beautiful language. When you understand something that's been so complicated for so long and now you know how to manipulate it, it brings you so much joy just to be able to touch up on something that you already know is going to be awesome because of how you touch it, right? That's how I see that. All right. Can you fix bad lighting without buying anything, right? Can you just know where to adjust your lighting? Like right now, I got my Rembrandt setting, like, right? Meaning it's right here at this angle. I could also put it top down. I could put it over my head for a different type of dramatic feel, right? I can put it to my complete one side and have this side completely dark and maybe turn off my LED light that's right next to me, right? So it's understanding, can you fix what you currently have? If you ever ended a situation where your environment did not work for you, are you aware of how to fix it? So that way you don't panic. That's something a lot of us photographers and videographers learn over time, is every situation is not going to be perfect. And you're going to have to figure out how to fix it. You can't always go back home and go pick up that piece of equipment that you forgot. One time reminds me, I had this one time where I had a photo shoot at a hotel room. And because I had forgotten my S bracket, the one that I needed to hold my light in, I forgot my S bracket. I actually had Uber do the package delivery to the hotel. Cost me about a good $25, $30 for it, but it was worth it because it was right in time before my clients started showing up. Some of those things can be done. Some other situations, you might be out the state and you have to figure it out. You might have to have somebody just stand there and hold it for you and make it happen, right? April says, I wished I had learned manual first. What did you learn first? That's interesting. What did you learn first? I had, me personally, I did automatic first, and it was okay, but it was because of the flash. But after a while, manual, I had to figure that out. It was a grueling process. I mean, talking about self-confidence was in the toilet, but I ended up finally coming out of there and making it work. All right. So this is where, of course, also learning, understanding what you're maximizing and how to market yourself. So a lot of us, we're here. All right. So a lot of us also have clients, right, in a various amount of forms. All right. Whether you are a performer, as far as Miss Lushy goes, we got photographers in here, videographers in here, and no matter what it is that you do, you have to know how to market yourself, meaning you have to know how to get the clients to come to you, right? Whether it's going to an event that's already happening, a networking event of some sort, or knowing somebody that just needs certain type of services, being able to host your own event. Like, there'll be different ways on how you can do that, right? So some people don't know how to market. Some people is like, I got the camera, they're going to come. 10,000 miles later, you ain't booked not one person. Because they're not looking at, oh, okay, I'm going with him because he spent all this money on this camera. Instead, they're going to say, I'm going with her because I see her every day. I have found people on TikTok have people found me on TikTok because I've just been posting every single day on TikTok. All right. Even if I miss a couple of days in between, they still will find me because I'm posting something every single day. Right. And it's a variety of things. So it's not a situation to where just show up and just bring your equipment and people gonna book you. Nah, you got to show your face. You got to talk to the people. You got to give them what they never heard before. You got to be different. You know what I'm saying? Like me doing this right now, I don't see every photographer doing this. Okay. And keep in mind, even for some content creators, this can be nerve wracking. There will be weeks where people will not show up unless you already have that following, but you got to be okay with that. Just still showing up. Okay. So now what is actually holding you back? Okay. For some, and we already know it's not the equipment. It's you not practicing. I can attest to that. Me not practicing, waiting until the day before or even of an event and then trying to practice and do something and then be mad when the quality of my work is subpar. Me having lack of consistency at one point, I wasn't posting. I wasn't talking to people. I wasn't showing up for myself even. I wasn't just taking pictures randomly without me having to be paid for it, right? Well, of course, we already talked about lack of marketing, lack of confidence, all right? I will talk about this one person that is not in this live right now. Sometimes she shows up. I love her to death. But if she could get the confidence in herself as great as her pictures are, her business will take off. And the fact that some people really are so amazing at what they do and they don't have the confidence to do what they do and just put themselves out there and have faith that they really are doing the damn thing, it amazes me, but that's also what's keeping them from moving forward, from leveling up. You know what I'm saying? So the Nick Flicks says people don't trust your investment. They trust the art you post. That's it. That's it. People don't know what you got in your pockets. They don't know. You could tell them all day long, oh, I paid this much money, this much money, this much money. But if they don't see what you've been doing with it, they don't care. It's like, all right, cool. You got money. At this point, you're just showing you got money. It's like the people that was flexing back in the MLM days. I mean, we still got them now. But back in them, it was people just showing money. That's it. But I don't know what you're doing to get it. I don't know what you're doing that's going to provide some value for me. That's going to help me. You know what I'm saying? That's what the client wants to know. How are you going to help me? You know what I'm saying? If you can't solve that, you're not going anywhere. All right. And then of course, waiting to be perfect. I am the perfect example of why you do not need to wait to be perfect. All right. And keep in mind, I have been in a place where how I am able to talk to people right now, it was not always this easy. I was definitely always nervous. My setting was nowhere near what it is right now. Keep in mind, this is not even the best, crispiest setting, but I like it. Okay. I'm proud of what I have because I know where I came from. All right. And sometimes if you're sitting there waiting, like, you know what, I don't like this lighting. I'm going to head and wait until I get the other $300 lighting that I really want, only to realize that didn't help shit because you still aren't brave enough to talk on the camera. You waiting for the light to talk for you. People don't want to hear them. They want to hear you. So when you get out of thinking like, oh, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. Do you know if a lot of the people that's out here now, whether influencers, celebrities, or whoever, waited till they finally got that $1 million check presented to them to finally be great, but they would not be where they at right now. They had to start from where they at, wherever that was at, whatever that looked like. This might be a sore subject for some, but we just saw the America's Next Top Model documentary. The people that came out of there and how they started, for example, one of my favorites, and I didn't even seen her on the season that she was on, but Kenya Hill and where she came from and then where she's at right now, amazing. But she still kept putting it out there, right? So April says, gotta run. That's fine. No, go ahead. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. So this is where you don't need that $3,000 camera to try to book a $300 gig or even a $3,000 gig, because you still need to position yourself. You still need to make sure you are setting yourself up apart from everybody else. Nick Flick says, I've been doing photography since June 2024. I'm still learning, but I'm growing. People are truly trusting my work because I post and I'm grateful, which I started in my 20s. Look at that. Welcome. And I appreciate you doing that, because you just don't know how many people really need your work out here, right? It's underrated. Like, people think like, oh, the industry is oversaturated. I saw a post by the twins earlier. Good. That means there's demand. So we demand whatever you have coming for us. So keep doing what you do, right? And I'm also still learning. I've been in this for now 3 years, going on 5 years actually, going on 5 years. So yeah, I'm still learning, right? So everybody is also trying to pick something up from somebody, trying to do better, because at the end of the day, the years, they change, and not only do they change, the industry changes. And not only the industry changes, the tools that we use change. AI is in here now. We got people that's utilizing that, however you may feel about it, but being able to understand how to put all of those things together to make yourself even better than what it was yesterday. That's it. That's all we're trying to do. Be better than what we were yesterday. Okay? So now, we're getting close to the end, but we might be like a little over halfway through. How to deliver great work with what you have. All right, we've been over a lot of these steps already, right? So people who are just not jumping in and probably trying to see what we're talking about, to be able to deliver great work with what you currently have, whether it is a cell phone or whether it is the cheapest camera on Amazon, as long as it can shoot, it records, and you're willing to learn, you can still be great at that, right? Understand your lighting first. I'm going to actually work on making a video about lighting. I do my lives on Thursdays for my photography mistakes is what I call it. That way I can mess up online and I don't feel bad about it, but people are watching me, right? So that's something that I do on YouTube, but practice with your lighting, whatever that looks like. Grab you some stuff. You can even grab cheap lighting from Amazon and make it work, right? Control and understanding your environment. Move your model to the side. Move yourself. Change up your angles. This is how you learn what works best for the image and the results that you want to deliver, right? Pick up on editing. Editing is king. In my opinion, it's because of the fact that I have fixed some interesting footage by simply editing, okay? And you can do some amazing things with that. Again, we got AI. Sometimes you ain't got to spend 3 hours on that edit. You really can just go ahead and use AI and make it work for you and deliver that mug, and you be good to go. Move on to the next one. But learn what you did. Learn how you got to do it. Duplicate it in your own way and keep it going. Keep it going. Netflix says we never stop learning. Absolutely, we can't. If we stop learning, we dead. That's it. That is it. Right? And I'm still here. I'm still here. Focus on storytelling, right? Whatever that looks like. So for me, I personally have been just now getting more into storytelling. I'll input my experiences when I'm talking, whether on these lives from time to time. But for the most part, when it comes to actual storytelling, it is you being able to gravitate people into what you're talking about so they can follow you along the journey, right? So whether that's you changing up certain angles when you are capturing, or you being able to deliver a message in a different way, very interesting way, and just utilizing the different things of editing, maybe having your caption a certain type of way. And all these can be done in CapCut, by the way. Don't have to do nothing crazy. Still don't need to buy no expensive editing software. They're great. Trust me, they are great. But if you can't afford that right now and it's budget friendly, go ahead and go with what you know. Make it easier on yourself. All right. And then of course, market it yourself, as we talked about. And I will give you guys an example. All right. I have a client who I talk about a lot. Her name is Jada LaPearl. All right. Who was also my partner, but I have been supporting her career for a long time. So she is a performer. She dances. She does pole dances. She also teaches, and she's also a model. Like, she's a variety of things, right? All around creative. But we have certain businesses for certain types of art. So with that being stated, I had to basically learn her content and what people gravitated to. And because of who she is, how she looks, people gravitate to that. And of course, of what she does because of who she is. So having to understand where she's at and ultimately how to get her to the next step. In this case, all she really had to do was keep posting, like really just keep posting as much as she could. And people were coming in droves. It grew her brand pretty quickly, and pretty large on multiple platforms. And now she's really getting to a place where she's getting booked just for like hosting or being able to get to perform at certain shows, and people know her by name. Like, it's one of those things. And now she's able to create her own products and be able to get involved with other types of brands that she actually likes and enjoys, right? So this is where understanding everything that I just talked about, I use all of those methods to be able to put for her and help her to be able to build her brand, her personal brand. This is what I specialize in, right? And I also talk about how to do all of this when it comes to my ebook, right? I do have an ebook. It's called How to Be a Paid Videographer from Smartphone to DSLR Success. Literally going step by step on how I did it from starting with my cell phone, going all the way to finally getting my camera, and how I was able to start booking people by marketing myself, and also understanding everything we just talked about, lighting, composition, all of that. All right. So that is basically, so that's why I say it's a task to learn it all, but when you put it all together and execute, the results speak for themselves, right? Nick Flick says, that's dope. I appreciate that. Thank you. As actually one of my top top reviews that I always give when somebody's always asking, or if I'm talking about something that involves content and bringing it to monetization, that would definitely be the biggest example. That's for sure. All right. Now, when we go down into talking about, of course, upgrading. Okay. So you could say you could upgrade when you feel like you're ready. That's what I told the person that told me that I needed to upgrade my equipment. I'm going to do it when I'm ready, not because you say so. I get it. You see it from your perspective, but I promise you, my clients, they're not really looking at that. They're looking at to see how they look. They're looking at to see if I capture them in a certain type of way, right? So I got to remember, and I had to remember, that a photographer and a videographer's eyes are different from a client's eyes. And the reason why I say that is that a videographer can look at my video and pinpoint everything that it looks wrong with it and what I could have done better. Whereas the client might be like, oh my God, I love this that has happened. Okay. I've delivered just recently. That's where that comment came from. Just recently made an amazing video, only for the client to just fall in love. She shared it everywhere. I'm ecstatic for her. Only for another videographer. Actually, I don't even think I saw videos on his page. There's another photographer that was basically like, yeah, you need to upgrade your equipment. Where's the support, bro? Where is the support? Like, I didn't ask you for all that, but to each his own, right? So you upgrade when you damn well ready. Don't let nobody push you. Don't let nobody feel like you're not gonna be able to get clients because you haven't upgraded to a certain type of equipment. Don't let nobody feel like you're not going to get paid, because I'm going to tell you something like this. Audacity is free, and people are getting paid big money off of it. So if somebody that may have even less equipment than I do, who may have just started this yesterday, can have the audacity to go and charge somebody $300 to $3,000 for a 1 hour shoot, for example, why would I think myself any less? All right. I'm not going to be delusional, but sometimes you do got to be a little crazy to get to where you want to be. Right. So if I am always second guessing myself, I'm always comparing myself, I'm never going to get nowhere. I'm never going to level up. So I always want to make sure that I'm looking further and further to where I need to be, where I want to be. Okay. So upgrade when you feel like you are ready. You got the money, you didn't got the consistent bookings, you can't handle the workload. Now you need to get an assistant. That's what I had to finally do, to get an assistant. That's when you can upgrade, you can level up, when you know it is that time to do that. Okay. So now, of course, as you guys know, we were talking about the marketing aspect, and of course your equipment is not your brand, but you definitely have to have your confidence on point, understanding your delivery, communicating. All right. Turnaround time is very, 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 very important. I make it very clear when you're going to get content from me. If you want something rushed, be prepared for that rush fee. Right. If it comes down to that, consistency, of course, is always going to play a part for me as well. That ultimately put together is going to be your brand. So because I present certain things to a certain level, it has made some of my clients actually make it hard on other media people. And I say that because I've actually had a performer, because I do film pole shows, like as pole dancers, actually dancing, burlesque performers. I've actually had a pole performer tell me that when they get a video from another videographer from their show, they compare it to mine. Okay. And because of that, I am like, okay, thank you. I didn't expect that to be the case, but apparently mine is that minimum level. If you can't do that or above, you ain't doing nothing. So I'm like, I must have been doing something good. But that also goes to say that I take pride in my work. Like, even after completing a project, I'm to this day, I'm like freaking out, like making sure that they like it. I liked it when I was recording it. I felt good I was recording it, but I don't know how they feel about it. They haven't said anything yet. Have you heard anything about it yet? And I'm looking at their page, like, that's how critical I am about my work. That's just me, right? And I'm pretty sure other people in here are also the same way, because at the end of the day, you are proud in what you do. And we're not doing things, obviously, to impress others, but we want people to be happy when they work with us. We want people to remember how we made them feel, right? What's the saying? People aren't going to remember what you did, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. That is my job. I do not want you to feel as if you working with me made your life a living hell. That is not good for me. I need you to be able to say, you working with me was an experience that you will not forget in a good way, right? So that's something I need you guys to also consider if you are in this place of trying to see what your next move is going to be, okay? And we're going to close it out. So ultimately, the topic, well, based on the topic, is basically your equipment isn't holding you back. It's the hesitation. It's the lack of any of these other things that got nothing to do with the equipment that is keeping you from seeing your fullest potential, right? So I will give you guys some vulnerable part of me, right? So lately, my biggest thing that I'm definitely hesitating on, and I need to get out of it, and I know once I get out of it, I'll feel better, is, of course, I want to take my business to the next level. And I've been trying to find out how to do that. And I finally got the terms and the word on how to do that. But now I'm hesitating on doing it because it's going to take me out of my comfort zone. But I know if I don't do it, I don't get the results that I'm also asking for and praying for. So it's like, do you want it? Do you need it as bad as you need to breathe? Like my dude E.T. like to say, you have to want this as bad as you want to breathe. And if it's not like that, then of course, by all means, take a seat, just chill out, go ahead and do the 9 to 5 and be happy with that. But if you're like, no, I need to make this happen, which in my case, I need to make this happen, I got to make it happen. So there's something out there that is touching your side, that's poking at you, that's like, yo, you need to do something. You need to do this next thing. You've been thinking about it for the longest. You're waiting, you're hesitating. I don't know why, but go ahead and get out of it and let's go, because we got things to do. Whatever that thing is, you know what it is. You go and do it. You go and take care of that thing. You owe it to yourself. You deserve to be able to get to that next level of where you are right now. Okay? So, it's almost turned into a motivational talk, but nonetheless, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for jumping in here. I honestly can say this is one of my bigger lives that I had, and the one day I'm not screen recording my phone is the when I get all the comments and stuff, but c'est la vie, right? So, but luckily this will be archived, and I will actually post it on my Patreon. So again, if you want to check out the ebook, it is available on my Linktree. Currently only $19.99. You will get literally the breakdown of everything. You can also join my Patreon. I do have a free tier that you can jump on there where I post my full lives. So I have my photography mistakes up there as well, right? I do got to post the one that came from last week, but I just got to just upload it, and then y'all be able to have that tonight. And this one will go on there tomorrow night. And I got a lot of stuff coming. I'm always in here talking to y'all. I feel like I'm talking myself to death, but we here and we made it happen. So I appreciate y'all for showing up. Netflix says, great live. Thanks for sharing. Just follows you. I appreciate that, and I did see that. Thank you so much for doing that, and I will catch you guys on the next one, all right?